So you want a new manager?
No, mimi nimesema simtoi saa hii.
But if you see Arteta has picked, you want him off.
Me ikifika
Arteta out.
No, I'm not Arteta out right now. I'm Arteta out if you don't win shit.
Arteta
bro, you are Arteta out by saying your manager has picked. You don't want
him. Mimi asiponishindia kaa bro. Kwa nini
which club which This is the alternate channel, and kama kawaida manze, we back with another episode for the year, and it's been a good year so far, guys.
Hey, hapana. Hey, it is not.
So long ameumia.
Kila siku naamka nasikia injury. Naamka it's not a good year. It's not looking good.
You and your Spurs, I think Miss Jim mtasaidika aje.
And as I said last week, the problem is Daniel Levy. Since the start of the year, Ange has been in every interview. He's been talking about Solanke. He's playing too much, but he needs cover. Solanke is playing too much, but he needs cover. And then they try go for Kolomwani, and now he's suddenly going to Juventus. And I'm pretty sure the next thing that comes out of the club is we tried our best. Like, bro.
Your Richarlison is there, Baba.
You're the 8th richest club in the world. Yeah. You don't see at kila time kukiwa na transfer window, you only have one target. Ati mkimiu that's it.
Basi Richarlison yuko.
Anyway, guys, before we dive into this, cause naona mnaanza na pace nyingine ya juu. RPM inapiga 200.
Asira.
For the new fans and guys who are watching this for the first time, this is Zeus, I'm Karen, this is Vicky. This is the only Spurs fan in the podcast and the 21st fan
in Kenya.
Me, I only know you alone. The other 20 ni rumors.
Nitafute.
Oh.
All right, guys. So, Zeus, I think now that tushaanza na Spurs, tuendelee tu na Spurs.
It's a disgrace, man. It's a disgrace. Yani, you know, last week I talked about Daniel Levy and Enik.
Yeah.
These guys have always, unajua, you make joke ati tunakwanga na phases when I was trying to explain how the structure at Spurs looks like, but this is where we are now. We need backups. They're not going to sign backups, you know. They're not. It's a shame that saizi if Poro gets injured after what happened midweek against Arsenal, because that didn't look so good. That means we're going to have to start Spence. And on the other side, you're going to start Reguilon. Who starts Reguilon in 2025?
Yeah.
You know, and the worst part is, by the time January inafika, knowing Enik and Levy, they're probably not going to sign any players, man. They're not. And then they'll come up with stories of, we are backing the manager. These guys never back the manager. Never. They never do it. So every manager that comes in,
and then with what you have,
which is not sustainable, man. It's not. It will never be sustainable. Plus, they kind of like, you know, there's a reason people like Jose and Conte, the reason why they were fired, some of the reasons, if you look at it, it's because they're not suck-ups. They'll be like, me nataka backup. If you don't give me backups, what's a history? So they kind of like managers who are like, okay. However, with Ange, he may be an okay man, but he's putting the pressure on them. He's telling them, me, I need backup. The captain Ange appointed, anaenda kwa comedian asema, hey, these games are becoming too many. The higher ups need to check into it, but they're not doing it.
Okay, hypothetically speaking, whom do you think you guys should sign in January?
We need a 6.
Okay.
We need a DM. Bissouma, since he came from Brighton, his first 2 seasons he was okay, but right now, I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
There are number 6s that are available in the market. I saw we have a deal with Real Betis. When Lo Celso went, Spurs have the right to the first signings of Johnny Cardoso. Go get him right now in January, man. We need that 6.
All right.
We need a backup to defenders. Bro, Romero and Van de Ven leave, get out of the team. Fine, Dragusin is there, but Dragusin is not the man you start. He's supposed to be. You do not start Dragusin and another guy. It's either you start Romero and Dragusin or Van de Ven and Dragusin. Yeah. He's not good enough to be the starter. So they never signed a backup because we have Ben Davies. Ben Davies has been here since 2012. It's fine. He's a good. When asked, he will come and he will do his bit.
Davies played against City.
But you see what happened after that? Alumia. So after Apple, then what? And you see Ben Davies for Spurs, he's not a left centre back. He's always played left back.
Yeah.
So we don't have an option. You have to play here. And since he plays in that position for Wales, he does a good job.
Yeah.
But the guy is old, man.
Yeah.
It's time to move on to him.
Yeah.
Now Ben Davies has been injured. We've been forced to play a Chigre, a guy who was not signed to be a centre back.
He's a midfielder.
He's a midfielder. But he's a young guy, and when he's asked, the disadvantage of being a young player is that you don't really have much to do.
You don't have the guts.
And he's done a good job. You know what? If these injuries keep on piling up, if the injuries crisis, Romero and Van de Ven come back, if they were to come back before the transfer window is open, I'm pretty sure the club is not going to sign in because they'll be like, so Kimia, see, this kid has already shown he can do that.
Yeah.
But the kid is supposed to play as a DM or a CM. Bissouma is dusted. Bentancur is a good player, but you never know when he's going to play. He's either getting injured or picking up burns. So this kid who is being made to play as a DM, as a centre back, his owner should be playing the DM.
Yeah.
So he needs a cover. But these guys will never sign. Fine, everyone now talks about, we'll spend 70 million on Solanke. Yeah, because we needed him.
And
that's fine.
And Solanke is worth the bucks.
Yeah, he's worth the bucks. Richarlison is the one who was 60 million, but it's not paid up. And it's fine. It happens in football. Hata nyi kuna players sign for exuberant fines and it does not work. Nicolas Pepe.
Yeah. Nah. By the way, come to think of it, he was harshly judged. Look at the numbers Pepe had, then you look at the players around the monies that was spent on him. Pepe was harshly judged. The media pushed him out of England.
Yes, fine, he was finally harsh. But you see, in the context of the argument here, okay, Spurs in a spend, you spend 60 million on Nini. It's the same thing with Pepe. Yeah. Kuna hits and misses. Richarlison has been a miss.
Hata ungesema watu kama akina Anthony, the ones we don't talk about.
Yeah, sure. Guys like these, they are hits and misses. But you see, Cristiano last week alikuwa anasema, tulikuwa tunapeana example ya when Liverpool made the switch over. We beat them 4-1. They went and spent 70 million on a defender and another 60 million on a keeper.
Yeah.
Who made their team solid. That is what we expect of Levy.
100 on Nunes.
Yeah, Nunes. Nunes. But at least Nunes, when it becomes difficult, utamweka hapo some chaotic football and he scores and they win.
Yeah.
Sisi sasa ukiweka Richarlison not really do.
Hakuja kuchokozana.
Dive kuchokozana.
But you see, that is not what we want.
Yeah.
And that has always been the mantra with Daniel Levy and Enrique.
Okay.
They've honestly, I hear Man United fans complaining about their owners, and I'm like, bro, I'd do anything to have those guys at Spurs instead of Enrique and Levy, because Glazers, Nisa, we want to say they don't spend into the club. They sign players for what? But the players they sign are players who can offer something to the club.
Yeah.
Since we are spending 50 million on Johnson, Nisawa, he's good, he will make the runs, he will score a few goals, but he was supposed to go for Gibbs White.
Yeah, Morgan Gibbs White.
Yeah, that's what he was supposed to do.
That would have been a proper...
It would have been a proper thing.
There's something you have said, and I just need to go back. Kidogo too. Kuna comment we make like any, ati Man United spend on players that are going to... What has Zach said?
No, I mean the owners. Every owner has their own misses. But if you compare what the Glazers do versus how they back the team, investing into the football, bro, you can't tell me spending 90 million on Pogba was a bad deal. Pogba was a baller. Spending 80 million on
in recent times.
In recent times, Kwani, the only hit has been what? The only miss has been what for them?
Zach say Hoyland, Anthony.
But you see, those are players. Those are players who've come in, When you're tunasema being judged harshly,
Yeah.
a guy like Zaxi, and it's how we like to make fun of him, but the guy akiingia pitch, he does what is expected of him.
What?
He's able to make those runs from deep. He's able to be
So
the anchor man.
basically he does what alikuwa Vargos choose to do.
Dutch for Dutch.
Ni hivyo.
Dutch for that. But you see, at least unaona wewe unasema hata unasema in the near past. For me, it's been the same constant thing ever since Enik took over.
Yeah.
From the get go, they're the ones who have been holding us down. Si mnashindanga mkinimekia fun of the Gareth Bale money. 90 million
Ulienda
wasted.
mkapiga 7 players.
That was such good money to be invested into the squad, but they didn't do it.
They did with 7 players.
What 7 players?
See those ones.
Out of those 7 players, only one player amounted into something.
Ni sawa,
Eriksen.
but wezi sema wakuwa back. Walitoa do wakawalete watu wa 7. 7 players in one window.
Sazus.
Eh?
No, I think those the point he's making, and I kind of understand it, is the owners at Spurs, they don't back them. There is more money going out of the club than more money coming in. And these guys are generating so much money. Shida yenyu, you generate pesa na concerts.
Pale unajua grao.
Unapiga safi.
It is
Alafu
fine.
pale NFL game moja inapigwa
Yeah,
pale.
you see,
Oktoberfest za London.
and you see,
Wajaga Spurs Stadium kule sherehe.
and you see what these owners had promised was, now that we have a new stadium that will be generating us revenue,
Yeah.
this revenue will be directed into the football.
Yeah.
But bro, football ni kusign timu wana on loan. Kwani hiyo pesa ninaenda wapi?
Let's move on from Spurs.
Bana we hiyo ndio ilituma tukupige.
You mentioned Man United.
And bricks.
Now, we were talking of how the Emirates has been a fortress, but clearly it's looking like it's no longer a fortress. You played Newcastle in the Carabao at the Emirates, lost 2-0. Played Man United at the FA, got
Lost.
knocked out on penalties. Then played Aston Villa yesterday and drew 2-2. What's happened?
I beat Tottenham though.
You beat Spurs. Anyone beats Spurs.
I don't know. Basically, Kwambia, like I said last week, and I'm slowly getting to the point I need to accept that Arteta has reached his peak, and then as a manager, you know you don't have certain elements on your team. Right now, to date, we are what? We are less than 10 days. We are less than 10 days to the deadline. Do you even have a solid thing we are doing in the market? Just talk to a point. Declan talks, says we need a striker. The manager himself talks, he says we need an attacker. So what else are we waiting for? As in yesterday, you look at our bench, and the best thing you can see from that bench is someone telling we are being told he's suffering from a crisis of no confidence. It's not like it's not a crisis of no confidence. Mandem is just shit. We start from there. As in unangalia team, Raheem Sterling is the best thing we would have done yesterday from the bench. Raheem Sterling, the whole bench, you look at it. The other one is Jorginho. How did we get there? I know it's all about injuries, but we're in January 19th. Unajua ni nani tuna sign? Siku moja mnapigwa sinini ya Sesco. Einstein akuja anawapiga reality iwezi. Hii siku nyingine reporter mwingine wacheze sijui Dusan. Einstein comes tells you aiwezi. What else do you need? Because at the end of the day you cannot tell me you have plans for summer. By the time it gets to summer, Bukayo has 2 years left on his contract.
You've already got plans for Zubimendi in the summer anyway.
It's okay. That is Zubimendi. You look at the likes of Saliba and the rest. They have been here for 4 seasons. Yeah. Real Madrid comes tells you, my guy, mimi nakuambia hii season is tusipobeba kitu. We're headed to a place whereby we're in a dangerous position, precarious position, because Bukayo, when it gets to summer, atabaki na miaka ngapi? 2. Before negotiate na huyo mtu, it's a World Cup here. What do agents do? They always hold back because they want more money for my player. Inaanza kuwa ni kuvurutana. Tumejifikisha in a position tufai kuwa. Hiyo sama itafika, first person you look for is a manager.
Acha kuongea kuhusu summer, bro. Talk about the season that you're having.
Season ndio hii.
What crisis are you talking about at the moment? What's the problem with the team? Because I can tell you,
We cannot convert chances to start with. Then, if you can't convert chances, whichever game plan you had initially, you need to have another a plan B. Plan B is what is your bench. A bench makes impact. Yesterday, what did Liverpool do? The bench won them the game. True or not? At walicheza nani midweek ndo equalize Nottingham. Who equalized the game for them? The bench. Tsimikas, Finzu, Jota. Jana Nunes atoka from the bench. You know, unaweza anza fiti, you study a team, wawakalie. Kama manager uta-study game ya team, ujue from the bench, I have impact. Do you have that kind of impact right now? We don't. And then the closest you can have is Nwaneri. Oni mid-Feb. Bukayo, March. Martinelli, he appears like a ghost. Ako leo, ayuko kesho. Trossard yesterday had a stellar game, but we switched off defensively. So, what better thing can we do between now and the end of January? It's signed.
So let me ask you something, because you said we switched off defensively.
Yeah.
Probably even Zeus, you can chime in on this. If you played Kiwior at the right center back, play Timber at the right back, and play Partey where he belongs, do you think we would have had a problem defensively?
Yeah. Kiwior
before, and that's
Najua, but you see, at some points, Marangapi Timber bailed us out when it is Gabriel. 2 times. First half, they had one tactic only.
Yeah.
Get the ball, hit it long.
Watkins.
Play the ball, hit it long. More than 2 or 3 occasions, Timber was receiving that ball. Maybe Kiwior Mumogopa, bro.
Well, you haven't seen so much. Probably, I think this is the problem with Arsenal fans. Kiwior has had a little bit of bad games, or he switches off just a little bit more than he switches on.
Yeah.
Against Liverpool, he switched off to concede at the Emirates. But the time he's going to play, and you can tell, hey, okay, hapa leo. You know, because I was of the idea, if you realize, if you want more, because I think Arteta went for more control than more of attack when he went for Timber and Partey at right back. But now you see, Zeus, what you're going to do is, this Kiwior is an Arteta sign.
Yeah.
And this season, Bukayo Saka's injury has exposed, not Arsenal, it has exposed Edu and Arteta. Also Arteta, because he's the manager.
He's the manager.
You know, because you sign a player, then you don't want him to play, and he's a defender.
Yet you're having defenders.
Yet you're having defenders in a crisis of defenders. You know, but I think it's not even a matter of defenders anymore. Yesterday, I watched that game so soberly, and I made one decision. Odegaard is out of legs. Currently, that boy he's out of form.
He's no longer the Odegaard you used to look up into coming back.
We can scapegoat Arteta. We can scapegoat Kai Havertz. We can scapegoat Partey for switching off. But questions need to be asked to Martin Odegaard. You cannot be the captain of a club, Zeus, and all you're doing is you're just holding the right half channel.
That's it.
A whole 90 minutes. You cannot glide. Where's the glide if you want to side your left to influence play? Whether you're either playing in the right half channel or as a winger.
Of which
that guy has refused to adapt to the game.
Sometimes labda si yeye, manager bro.
No problem.
Manager.
No problem Vicky. I don't have a problem with him following instructions. But Zeus, mimi nashinda nikiwaambia, if you played the game, ukiruka hiyo white line, the decisions you make, unasema I'm going to take the game by the neck, ile one man show, and say I'm going to do it.
But you see, that is what people talk about when you're talking about it. Was it Ancelotti? Ancelotti, when he was talking about
exactly,
when I go into training, I have my methods, but also I listen to the players. If they tell me you are comfortable doing this and doing that, I will let them, as long as they do not go away from my fundamentals. And if their decisions are the ones that cost us, I will go hard on them. Maybe it's the same case with the likes of Odegaard and Martinelli and whoever. Maybe they would like to do these things, in the game. But you find if they try to do it, the manager is up in arms against them. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't really blame players on not expressing themselves on the pitch, because more often it's not their choice. That is what I tend to believe. It's not their choice. It's not their choice to express themselves freely. It's a manager demand. That is why sometimes managers can be called arrogant. Like our own manager, he's a very stubborn and arrogant man. It's always our fullbacks will invert into midfield.
Yeah.
That's why he says it's who we are, mate. That is arrogance in the manager. Hataki player express in a way.
Yeah.
Unapata maybe Odegaard would like to do these things.
Yeah.
Lakini amepewa instructions na manager. Don't do that. You are the RHS.
The problem is it's not working. Game in, game out.
If it's not working, and nakwambia there's another solution to it. Milisema a club is bigger than an individual.
Get the manager out.
Because look at. Do you know why I tell you we overcoach or we over instructed? Look at how much time we take with throw-ins.
Yeah.
Lazima tukae nayo kila mtu ingie kwa position.
That is an
lazima mtu
instruction.
adilai huyo huko. Why? Sometimes ukuta player kona ball, rusha ball tucheze, but hapana. Manager aliwaambia ball ikitoka kila mtu kwa position yake.
Jova amekuwa kidrill team into taking set pieces to a point that it's a corner. The guy taking the corner can see a chance, which if kila mtu anajua Arsenal wao wanajipanga, si ndio? So even the teams that are defending will try and counter that, and maybe the player taking the corner can see before afanye hivi, I can do this and this, but they've been so drilled into these things
you have to do these
but
things
guys,
this way.
I agree, Vicky, but look at how Thomas Partey plays. Thomas Partey has a brain of his own. I'll give you instances. When Aki released Martinelli when we were playing Man City, Thomas Partey saw a chance and Martinelli was free and Kyle Walker was not backing him. Akaicheza long, created a goal out of that. Sindio? Thomas Partey, instead of playing 1,000 passes, Thomas Partey sometimes he decides we are playing too many short passes. Let me go long, and that's why he's always finding Bukayo when Bukayo is free. Instead of playing the ball to Odegaard then to Bukayo, can I just play it long to Bukayo? Yesterday he released Kai Havertz. Ile chance alikuwa nayo Kai Havertz akakuwa kwa offside. Because Vicky, you have to make decisions as a footballer. You have to make decisions. If you look at how Declan Rice plays, yesterday we deployed him as a left 8. But as the game went on, ulikuwa na wanatengeneza triangle na Odegaard side right. Because he could feel opposite their Madsen, he has a yellow card, so let us press them on that side. You get? Because you have to look at a weakness in a team and decide, okay, fine. If we create overloads on one side, we are better off than creating an overload on another side where he's stronger. Because Matikash was too strong for Leandro Trossard.
Yeah.
So Declan Rice is going to create overloads over there, and when he has a chance, he's going to make a left run on the left 8. Because he's so mobile on that midfield. Odegaard is not mobile. Vicky, take the game by its craft. How did Odegaard create a chance for when we were playing Porto? Alikuwa said gun
left.
Akirelease Trossard.
Alikuwa said left.
Because he can take the chance and move across the midfield. But he's so static on that side. Vicky, if it is not working, move. As a footballer, you have to make the decision. Move Zeus, then if it works, the manager is going to say, okay, fine. That was good. If it doesn't work, you already have Ojumini to move kwa space yako. You know how we switch positions. If Odegaard moves to that left 8, then that means Declan Rice amerudi nyuma kidogo to cover the distance yenye inaweza tukipigwa counter amecover. You have Lewis Kelly over there. Yesterday, in my opinion, Lewis Kelly should not have finished the game. We needed more technicality.
You know why Skelly played, bro? Was Morgan Rogers effective yesterday? No. You know why? When we were playing, Skelly basically was going to the midfield. Look who was shadowing Morgan. That boy, I watched that game. Sometimes it's not about following the ball. Follow a player, movement a player. Skelly finishing the game was... Arteta was of the opinion, if you get to around 70-something minutes, atalita Kivior, a defend. Yondo ilikuwa kwa akili yake. But pili limto off guard. Because I know Arteta alikuwa tu, if we hold up to the 70th minute, I can bring on Kivior, replay So now it should have been Lewis Kelly, but at the end of the day, now we are already 2-2.
Bro, Lewis Kelly should not have finished the game when what is this with Arsenal?
So who
Going for the game?
Who should have come?
Get someone who's more technical. Get Zinchenko or Tierney.
We are getting
Zinchenko against bro.
we're getting to the business end.
At 2-2 we try to go for the win, but at the end of the day, angalia ni nani unacheza naye bro. Ulete Zinchenko.
Unaona katikati.
Atadhali Tierney.
Katikati Villa they were there for the taking when Onana was subbed off.
Yeah, when Onana came off, physicality ikaisha.
When you don't have the physicality in the midfield, stop sticking to Lewis Kelly. Get someone who is more technical. Yesterday, if we had a more technical player,
but at the end of the day,
we win the game.
Look at the players Aston Villa brought Pia from the bench, bro. Exactly.
To run and Leon Bailey.
Their wingers
who brought in
up
runners.
And exactly.
Lewis Kelly is not a runner.
Skatai is not a runner, but who are you bringing on for Lewis Kelly? Zinchenko. The moment Zinchenko loses, how many times does Zinchenko lose lapses in a game?
Okay, fine. So if
anaenda kutafuta a very yes, Zinchenko is technical, but at the end of the day, we know him. He'll try to do something fancy.
Then go, Vicky. This is where we keep saying, and at times, and you know, a lot is said about Arsenal, and as an Arsenal supporter, you kind of block it. But every day you start to think about, kwani our rivals are right?
They're onto something. They're cooking something.
Right. Because why don't you want to take a risk and win the game?
Yeah, throw everything in there. Be like,
we have nothing to throw in there. As in Razos.
Okay, fine. You want to bring in Kiwior, okay, sawa.
Kiwior was top gap. Shida ni nakwambia tuli switch off. We had a game plan. Then from that game plan, now you have controlled the game. Against the run of play, you concede a very silly goal.
Vicky, let me tell you why. If you bring in someone who's technical, your opponent reacts to your substitution.
Yeah. Managers will also react to
the substitution. So you bring in Kieran Tierney, who has a better left foot than Trossard when it comes to whipping in crosses. That means the person who's on that wing, Leon Bailey, he's not going to bomb the wing so much. Atata focus na kudefend. And when Tierney is inverting or Zinchenko is inverting, then that means midfield in a compress to manage this new substitution. But now Lewis Kelly is defensively minded.
He had to be. At the end of the day, he had to be.
You're going for the game. You see, that's my problem.
No, at the end of the day, we are going for the game. Villa too are going for the game. Look at the subs they made. It's not just about Arsenal. Yeah, exactly. They were better. Nini sawa, Partey, does he have the legs to run back? Now, let's say to Meleta or to technical. Cindy O'Brien, look at it from both sides. Okay, you're brought in technical players. You will lose the ball. The moment you lose the ball, they play it long. How many runners do you have?
How many minutes do you have to go?
You have 10 minutes
to go. 10 minutes to go.
10 minutes. Football changes. Football changes with Football changes with 3 minutes. We saw at Liverpool. Football can 10 minutes a long time.
Arteta is too scared.
Yeah, me hapo according me kulingana zile sub vile walikuwa nazo tulikuwa nazo. You cannot take off a defensively minded left back to bring in someone who's going to be technical when they're bringing in runners from that side. You lose ball, you lose. We're not perfect at the ball. Hey. So I mean, before you got scored, any ball to lose.
Do you know what you do, Vicky?
What?
Do you know what you do? When you bring on technical players, and this is how football has been. These are players, managers manage the game. If you bring on Zinchenko, or bring on Kieran Tierney, then that means Declan Rice is told, don't bomb forward. Don't bomb forward.
Hold the midfield.
Hold the midfield.
Yeah.
If they play it long, you clear it up. So you win the game.
Ningapi walipiga long zikapita huo Rice. It had to be the Gabriela Matimba doing the job.
Ndio kazi yao. They had Watkins was being backed by 2 guys.
Yeah.
Ilikuwa Timber na
Magana. Nakwambia the moment umesub off Watkins, their gameplay becomes different kidogo. They're not going to hit them long. They're going to try to break. Unaona hapo press hapo midfield. And they had technical. Na nakwambia the reason why they were not effective is because Morgan Rogers aliyekuwa mfuko. Nani aliyeka Morgan Rogers mfuko?
Then ask
Kelly.
Ask Kelly to do the same.
Who?
Ask Kelly to do the same. You're just shadowing him.
Anyway, for me, points dropped for us.
Man, those are bitter points, honestly. Those are bitter points. Bitter points to drop. And it is because I think Vicky, I don't think Arteta has picked. In my opinion, that's too harsh.
For us, yes.
For you.
For Arsenal.
No, that's yours. That's your opinion. But anyway, I think I'll go on with this discussion after the break. Don't nisikie hiyo point yako ya kupike Arteta because I think today is a day we fight.
As no bottling again.
Oh yeah. So we'll come after this. Alright guys, we're back from the break and Vicky was saying that Arteta has picked and I think that is very harsh.
No, it's not harsh. Let me give you a scenario. For an experienced manager, towards the end of the last season, what was the one rhetoric tulikuwa tunaambiwa? What did Arsenal need?
Get a forward.
Right.
As a manager,
he also
the whole
said it
season,
himself.
yeah, yeye mwenyewe na mdomo wake sema anataka forward. Why did we need a forward? Kama tuko na forward tulikuwa tunataka mwingine zi. So, you as a manager, you know you need a forward. You go to Leipzig, you have someone you have been following in Sesko. Then you tell this player you're not coming to start, just know your minutes will be limited. What is the reason you need a forward? Kama mwenye unaenda kutafuta kwa soko already unamwambia I cannot guarantee you first team football.
Is that story true by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't think a manager can ever say. I honestly don't think a manager can say something like that.
See, it was an article written by the Athletic themselves. Ndio. Wakasema Sesko chose to stay and renew a contract at Leipzig because he knew at Leipzig he'll be guaranteed minutes. At Arsenal, you're being told you're not guaranteed minutes because of a player who was signed to replace Xhaka, but he could not replace Xhaka. Then we saw towards the end of the season he's scoring some goals. Gakuonde mturataka because Jesus at that point, Jesus siku mtu wa kutegemewa. So decision making pia ya manager much analana sisi bro. Acha kwanza tuseme hiyo ndio kitu ya kwanza. Arteta is learning how to be a proper manager with us. And it's time we accept he has learned all he can. We look for someone who has already learned, he knows what it means to win trophies.
Okay.
Because we already have a squad. Squad now tuko nayo.
Arteta kwa internship basi.
Kwa internship. Tukubali tu internship yake imeisha.
Good.
According to, it is what it is. Because 5 seasons now. 5. That man them has signed almost 20 players. Of those 20, we can say like 10 have worked out. The other 10, hata nilikuwa nasema hata urecall Nuno Tavares umweke hiyo wing ya Martinelli acheze kama wing hata asicheze kama nini defender, you know, because you need a bench. We don't have it and now we can hata tukiangalia bench ya attacking yetu ni Bukayo na Nwaneri alone. Is that enough? Is that enough for a team that was so close to winning the league and they knew the thing that gets you over the hurdle is a Haaland kind of player? Because at the end of the day, even if the goals are shared amongst the team, what pushed Man City to the edge? Haaland. Impact of it's not that we don't create. How many chances do in those games you mentioned for me at home? How many chances did you waste? 1,000,001 chances.
Have the same player scored the same chances?
Yeah, after like trial and error.
No, you can't say trial and error. You had a whole last season and those guys were banging those goals.
But at the end of the day, did you have a top scorer right walikuwa na bao ngapi?
That doesn't matter.
Ilikuwa 15.
I'm saying the same chances that they've been wasting, they've been banging them. So how is that?
And last season pia kuna kwa games zingine tulikuwa tunaambiwa wewe being told we need a striker if they were banging goals. Because there were games you need to win against West Ham when you lost 2-0. Odegaard had the best game of his Arsenal career. But you have Nketiah and who?
Kai Havertz.
Kai even wasn't on that game. He was suspended. Kuna games so many close. Hata hiyo Aston Villa had to lose 2-0. In the first half we had the chances. So
Trossard alikataa kufunga.
No, Kerry, I think I get his point.
Yeah.
What Vicky is trying to argue is, in spite of how many goals you guys are banging with your other players, because by the way, I think I had also told you this. It doesn't. You guys were one of the highest scoring teams in Europe.
Yeah.
Not just the Prem, in Europe. But you needed that X factor, and that X factor is the guy who was supposed to bang 20 goals.
And we all agree.
Yes. But you never,
So
you
as
never
a
went for
as a
him.
manager who is serious, ameona first season ligi imeenda, second season ligi imeenda, na kwa hizi season zote mbili ulikuwa unaambiwa hauna X factor fulani inahitajika. Hauna, inafika hiyo time ya kuletewa X factor,
You're not bringing it.
acha niende midfielder kwanza,
Na
nolete defender kwanza, alafu tu striker nyoko kwa soko. Bro, kuna venye tunajua tunaweza funga mabao.
So let's wait.
We come season ikienda tutakudevelop kwa squad. So already sijakuonyesha niko confident enough to know you are my X factor.
So hypothetically speaking, if Odegaard continued with his form of last season and continued scoring, and Bukayo says miraculously out of injury, will you be having the same opinion?
Yeah, there's a time they were there and
No, I'm saying they continue with their form, and we're probably beggar kwa beggar na Liverpool, or maybe a point ahead. Will you be having the same? Will you be having the same idea?
thing is,
Because okay, hold up. This is it, Zeus.
Personally,
We have lost 12 points
from winning
positions. Yes.
the most.
So is that a defensive problem or that's an attacking problem?
It's a case of both.
So we have scored Zeus, we have scored and we have conceded. So already mmefunga bao zikakujiwa. Yesterday 2-0 ahead. 2-0, two goals and the whole crowd is behind you. The whole crowd is behind you.
Then
You lose again from a winning position. Why will you put it on a manager and say he needs an attacking position? We know he needs attackers. That's fine. But now if you flip the coin,
But can I ask you something?
Let me learn.
Utalana mimi nikuulize kitu pia.
If you have lost 12 points from winning position, then you could be also addressing a defensive problem.
But that wasn't even your problem.
Na nikuulize.
No, it's a new problem.
Brian.
Address the problem.
Brian.
You address that problem by sending defenders and defensive mid.
Hata nimuulize hata kitu. Initially when he started, you asked a question, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't the manager start players he has signed? Aliuliza nini? Mbona manager asitizishe Kivior? Kwa hata unaona kuna vitu
defensive.
Unaona hata manager mwenyewe ako stubborn pia. Some of the mistakes are still his for ownership. So at the end of the day, you experimenting party all this time. Hata when uliuliza Kivior running alisign.
We've never won a game with Partey right back.
See? But he's still insisting on that thing.
So
hata wewe mwenyewe unajua tu.
So hizo
your decision ya nani kuchezesha Partey hapo.
He's right.
It's better playing Partey right back than
you see why we're placing the blame on him.
Yeah.
He already knows you haven't won a game with Partey on right back.
Yeah.
But he's still insisting on that.
So
it's the issue of your defense being caught out. Hii mambo ya kudrop points, it's still on the manager. It's not the players.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if hata mimi nasemanga like yesterday, call me crazy, but I think Timber would have been better playing the right back and Partey being the center back.
Okay.
Because Partey actually can quarterback those balls.
Yeah.
Partey,
You know, the one thing,
because some of those quarterback in those balls.
You guys see Partey winning a duel against Watkins.
he doesn't. He's strong enough. He's strong enough, man. The guy is strong enough.
Actually, Partey is not strong.
Ni vile anajihurumianga na injuries
Partey
zake.
is actually, if you look at Partey, his physique, he's not strong. He just has some kind of long legs, but not strong.
I also don't.
Partey is not
I
strong.
also don't understand.
Akipiga body charge na Duran.
Duran na ni beast. Bro, unaweza jaribu kuleta hiyo argument.
21 year old throwing a 40 year old.
Unaweza jaribu kuargue strength the player. Partey against someone, not Partey against Duran. That guy is strong. Alafu he's young. Unaona hiyo build yake ya South America.
Nilikwambia
Jamani, I'm strong.
Hata Watkins ni mkubwa.
So
I also don't get why your manager is obsessed with replacing Partey. Miguel Merino, Zubimendi. What's all this, man? Why are you struggling so hard to replace one guy?
No, I think with Arteta, this
Zubimendi has been a long-term target.
So and a point yako that Arteta has picked. The reason I think Arteta hasn't picked is because we have seen what he can do with a squad that is fully fit, right? And he went toe to toe with City only to lose it on the last hurdle. Hapo tu katikati.
Nakwambia
the last hurdle, badala ya kuruka hiyo hurdle yakajitega. Man City kakuja kama imepita.
And now 2 times. Now the third time. That's Pep amechoka.
That is a charm. Pepe jatoka.
Amechoka. Tunasema venye season iko saa
City
hii.
is assembling Avengers once again, and the whole Premier League is watching it, and nobody is doing anything about it. Slot doesn't want to sign him. He believes
Slot will sign. Yeah. He doesn't need to sign, bro. Before Klopp left there, alimwachia squad.
You think Gravenberch gets an injury? Liverpool are going to they're going to maintain the same high intensity.
The thing is, it's not about maintaining this. Si kila nakwambia, si lazima wa lose hizo games, but pali wako kuna hiyo security ya we have. No, let me ask you, Konate ya kuumia. Si hata wameanza ku lose points vya Konate amerudi. But did they cover Konate's injury with maintaining their form? Yes or no? They did. So why the reason is 6 points with the game in hand is we have the leeway. We can lose a player. Na si ati tukilose your player we lose all games. We can draw one game, you know. Okoneo allowance. And it's not that Endo Wataru is a shit player. No. It's not that you can't bring McAllister there and you play who? Curtis Jones kwa McAllister. Gravenberch akiumia, yes, is a huge impact, but it will not itarudisha to Liverpool nyuma vile.
The quality.
They have the quality to cover that injury.
Si kama tukilose Romero na Van de Ven ya cook.
But Liverpool have the quality. Because at the end of the day, if you lose Gravenberch, what do you do? Si McAllister last season tulikuwa na McAllister akijaribu kushikilia 6.
Alijaribu, he did a good job.
And you do McAllister because not all games are hard games for Liverpool. Ukiwa Anfield, utacheza McAllister, ucheze nani? McAllister, Bozo na Jones. Jones has been on form this season.
Jones is badass, man.
So nakwambia the difference between us and Liverpool. Liverpool have options, we don't.
So you want a new manager?
No, mimi nimesema simtoi saa hii.
But if you see Arteta has picked, you want him off.
Me ikifika
Arteta out.
No, I'm not Arteta out right now. I'm Arteta out if you don't win shit.
Bro, you are Arteta out by saying your manager has picked. You don't know what
maybe asiponishindia cup, bro. Kwa nini
which cup do you think Arteta is going to win this season?
I don't know, cause Champions League, bro.
So ideally there's nothing is going to win, man. Not going to win.
Maybe I'll say it with my no, I'm not. I will not say Arteta out right now. I'm tulimpea grace period.
Arteta one leg outside.
Mimi nampea grace period ya nini? Do something.
Vicky, you're being too verbose.
No, I'm not verbose. Me skiza. If he wants to stay at Arsenal, start demanding right now.
And answer this question.
Arteta in, Arteta out.
No. Goja. No, hold up.
First man right now.
Hold up.
Yes.
This guy is saying Arteta has picked, right?
I agree with him on that.
Would you want your manager to manage your club when he has picked? You wouldn't want, right? No, let's
wacha nimalizie champe kuletea manager anichezesha champe next season. Hiyo tu ndio imebaki tu tumalize tu champe na yeye. Tulete manager tupige champe.
Vicky.
Sasa hizi mfuta sai ya nini?
No, I'm only asking you a very simple question. You're saying your manager has picked.
I agree.
I asked you which cup do you think Arteta is going to win this season?
None.
You're saying none. So
unless a miracle happens as
listen, so clearly you want
Arteta out. Because FA is the most realistic trophy.
So you clearly want Arteta out.
If he doesn't do shit.
Season. But you saying he does, if he doesn't do shit, you know he ain't gonna.
Maybe he can miraculously win the Champions League.
There are no miracles in North London.
Maybe he gets Akores, then Bukayo becomes fit.
So this is live on camera. That
but listen.
Arteta out.
No,
I support him.
Many offense.
No, what the hell?
Nampe grace period, but
you can.
In this world, there are no ifs, maybes, and buts.
Okay, I've said my conditions, Indio. Brian, if we end the season without a trophy, are you still going to back him fully?
Me, I'm backing him right now. I'm backing him right now to win the Premier League. What's the problem? So you are Arteta out.
Yes,
no.
You are Arteta out.
Don't force me to.
Arteta out. Arteta's out.
And this is good. This is good for you guys.
Skiza, right now.
It's fine.
The best link we have is in Japan. True not. Unasikia tu unauliza jina gani? Uboys wa Rosenborg. Na usikia zile links tuko ni za kina Lokanga kina nani sasa. Hiyo ndio lane bado tuko. Tukiambiwa ati ametuchuzwa kwa Man City. It's a good. I've seen him at Norway. Ile time Odegaard alikuwa ameumia ndio alikuwa anacheza. Good midfielder. Is a better version. Is actually a more direct midfielder than Odegaard. When it comes to midfield, he wants to run with that ball. he wants to take shots.
Yeah.
But ukimleta unakaa nyinyi. Is Bergvall playing good ball right now? Because your man is a believed in that boy.
I told
And he
Thierry
knows
about
ball.
Bergvall a very long time ago, and I told him this guy.
But Arteta has also he's also
Sasa naweza leta wewe ni hapa naambiwa tulia pale. We'll never know. But because at the end of the day we need a 10.
As a
We just have a left-sided 8 in Odegaard.
as a
who
neutral
excels.
hater, this guy is going around so many corners, more corners than Arsenal
more
this
corners than
season.
Arsenal. Those are like 20 corners.
Like 20 corners, but
Say it with
landing
your chest, bwana. Don't be a fence man.
when
Wewe
Gabriel
kwenda kwa
Say it
champion.
with your chest.
when Victor Gabriel jumps in the air, the header will be Arteta out, and I will be there.
All right, guys. There's something we need to talk about before we go to the Champions League, and it is Man United. The final shores. I think Amorim, he said, there's a day he said they've only had 3 training sessions, and we cracked a joke about it. But every day you can see signs of when these guys are training, you can see something on the pitch. You can tell that they're playing for each other. And that is testament to how they beat City, right?
Yeah.
And how they beat us. Even if it was on the penalties, we still lost the game. And I think they deserve a shout out because clearly they're playing better with off the ball than on the ball. I think Man United, their problem was off the ball positioning. And right now, I think Amorim has been able to address those things. There's a game Arsenal and they lost a ball, and I saw Bruno running back. Things I never used to see Bruno do.
But Bruno as well. I don't know. I banter him myself, but at the end of the day, Bruno is the guy you have on the team when you want to win. He's the guy you want on the team when you're losing, because he will always do something.
Yeah.
Not even creating. You're running back to end up. Bruno will always do something. Fine. We have fights to pick with him with how he behaves sometimes on the pitch. But at the end of the day, you cannot take away his quality and what he offers on the pitch.
Okay.
As in, tukiondoka kwa shenanigans za banta na nini, Bruno is a quality player.
Yeah.
He is.
You're Man United hater. What's your take?
On Man United.
What the hell, bro?
You're talking about Man United. Najua. Is there a surprise waiting for me to compliment them? Anyways, finally, finally, see, I'm trying to pick up Bogu's top 3 midfielder. Ametulia. Sasa strong yani big up bro yako.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Bro, the hit. What?
Suliambiwa Ahmad ni top 3 wing.
3 wingers. Bro, Ahmad is balling.
But that day they tried. At the end of the day, impact from the bench. As much as Ahmad alifunga, it is what Man United brought from the bench kwa hiyo game.
No, Ahmad was being rested. Hiyo game ange. It was an easy game against.
Nakwambia skatai, rest or not, at the end of the day you come off from the bench and you make what an impact. Na si pia peke yake, even the changes they made changed that game.
Yeah.
Anyways, they've been playing good ball.
So are you saying you need to have a better bench than Arsenal?
No, it's not that. Currently, yes, they do. Venye bench yetu iko, sisemi ati hatuna wa players. We have quality players, but you can never depend on players when they go and come back.
The bench has a Johnny Evans, bro.
Erinyi mko na bench.
But at the end of the day, it still has. If it's not Zaxe, it's Hoyland. Unaona? Sasa sisi ni sijui ni akina Butler, Roger, Kabia. So, anyways, flowers to Amorim. You sorted out things. We are here watching them play against Liverpool. You saw the fight they had in that team.
Yeah.
We watched them play against us. As much as we wasted chances, walikuwa na drive fulani pia. Unaona hiyo team inajitolea. We are 10 men. Kitambo ungekuwa ni 10 men wa kitambo, they become sluggish. Bruno ashinde akiteta game. You know, but this game Bruno atakuwa ateta, he was there with the team.
This is what happens.
So the fight is there.
This is what happens when you bench finished at 24.
Rashford.
Actually, he needs to leave now. Leaving at 27.
I think he's just leaving. He's on his way out.
Yeah, he has to go, man.
Where? Hata ni venye tumeloan maplayer wawili already kwa EPL. Trust me, knowing my
How's the
team.
damage shit your manager did?
Have you noticed that since
It is yours now. Huyo si unamwambia is the damage shit he did. Huyo mwe una back unamuita my manager, say my manager. Call him my manager.
Yeah.
Sasa amekuwa my manager wangu.
You have to call him out.
But I'm saying, have you noticed that ever since Amorim went fully hard on Rashford, they finally have a team.
Yeah.
Like on the pitch, they're actually doing something.
You can actually
And then Nile, it's just about going hard on Rashford. It's I go hard on you, then I show you this is what I'm going
So
to do. I
everyone
will
else will be
bench you.
like, hey, come on.
Even if I have good or bad results, I have you. See, let's move.
Yeah, everyone will be like, this is a guy who's been here since he was 7 and Avarugo hivi. What I up my
So
I was like, that's how you realize a manager is working.
sisi mtu anabiniwa na Maresca na bin mse, but si tunaona huu ni star.
But alisema you haven't seen the best in him.
Alibatizwa wakatuoko.
You haven't seen the best in Sterling.
2 days after kusainiwa training bro. Training clips. We knew.
I did not watch Arsenal training clips. I did not watch those things.
Training hata watoto wa academy wao na ball.
That is the dumbest thing. As Arsenal yujua kubait ama fans wao sana.
Sasa
They know how to bait you guys.
Utaki kusikia anthem ya nini ya. Utaki kusikia anthem ya Anfield pale Conley.
Sasa Manu wametoka relegation threats, sisi ndo tuko huko. Na hatutoki. Yeah, see there. By is it 2 points?
But before we go Champions League. Yeah. Big up to Andoni Ariola. Jama amepanga managers wote wa big, yani design flani is killing them.
Bournemouth realistically they're going to Europa.
Yeah.
No.
But itakuwa possible jia venye teams are group stage au Champions League teams are performing. So they're adding extra slots. Utapata up to number 8 unaweza ingia Europe in England. Okay. So if Bournemouth continue the way they are, but it's going to be a tight one. Kutoka top 4 hadi number 7 hapo. It's going to be one of the best battles this season. Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa.
They have the steel.
Yeah, they do.
They look like they have the steel.
Lakini niliangalia bench yao watu wameumia
unge imagine jana ati Evan Nilsson ati they will clap Newcastle for goal.
But yesterday me personally I had a lot of confidence in Bournemouth against Newcastle. Yeah, I even predicted them to win.
Because the way Newcastle play and the way Bournemouth play, that game was always going to play into Bournemouth's hands. Bournemouth akicheza na team ziko below them wana struggle kidogo.
Yeah. Teams that are on form, teams that are playing high press. You know, Bournemouth, I was looking at Bournemouth playing versus how we play. It's very similar. High press, and Newcastle will always flutter against a high press with the right personnel.
Yeah.
So I was like, Newcastle are not surviving this. They're going to get toasted. But 4-1, hey.
For now, we knew it was going to be like
1 is crazy.
4 was crazy.
1-2, 1-3.
And it was 5. They had a goal disallowed. Yeah. That is how good Bournemouth were yesterday.
It's always something about football when you least expect it.
It's when it happens.
And Zeus said he has City winning the league, and City is back and reassembling. I think City are so lucky that they experienced the slump in November, December.
Yeah.
They're so lucky because they knew how to address it now early before next season.
And basically it's like they were planning on doing that during the summer. Yeah. Summer so you see what City have done. Yeah. They have seen the slump, they have seen the mistakes, they have seen what they need. Yeah. They have fast forward their plans. Yeah. Plans ilikuwa za summer wamezileta lini? January.
Pep Guardiola, the best manager globally.
It doesn't matter. Even if you have Pep Guardiola, even Pep Guardiola needs help. And that is what City are giving him, help.
Did you hear what he said? He said his scouting has an 82% success rate.
Yeah.
He said when his scouting is correct, he doesn't care. Bring the boy. Just sign. There's a guy signing a thing called Kuzanov or something. A defender.
Yeah,
from Lens. Yeah. That guy is Kuzanov. He's a very good defender, by the way.
Bulk, bro.
And they have already this guy from Palmeiras. They already signed him.
Reyes.
Then Mandem is Cambiaso is one versatile player.
You know, it's
versatility of Cambiaso.
Before you land on versatility of Cambiaso, our producer
is a City fan.
He's a City fan. So anasikia mkiongea City is back manze, anafeel ni kama I'm back to watching City games. But City saying Cambiaso, they are back. They're back.
They're only right now.
Back in the conversation.
Wamaliza tu deal mbili Cambiaso na Mamush.
That's the argument you were actually having when I was
Na
saying
bado
they will
they'll
win the league.
still go sign a 6.
A DM.
Don't be surprised before January isha. Wakisign players wangapi? 5. Nyinyi mngoje ni hapa.
Mimi naona sign Mamush, I'm kind of getting pissed because that Egyptian guy who used to play for us, Mido. Remember Mido?
Yeah.
Mido was begging Spurs and Levy, sign Mamush. Sign Mamush. And they were like, I'm saying piga tu kelele. Now City are going for Mamush. You think City would go for Mamush if they didn't believe he's a good player?
Let me ask you this. This is a bit out of the box thinking. Mamush has had 2 good seasons.
Yeah.
Right? He hasn't hit 30 goals. I think he's coming in more as a creator, as an assistant.
Actually, I tend to think they're sending Mamush to kind of play like how Julian played last season when KDB was out.
10-9.
As a 10-9, yeah.
10-9.
Behind Haaland.
But now,
Yeah.
okay, probably I'm hating because nobody likes it when Pep has things together. Because mnajua tu hapo ni gold. Hapo manzi tutapigwa. But now, Zeus, do you see a point where Mamush comes and he's not the crown jewel of City? Because he's not, of course.
He's not,
You're gonna
obviously.
find the big boys.
It's Haaland.
It's Haaland, it's KDB.
It's Haaland,
Foden.
actually.
It's Haaland.
It's Haaland. Kupewa contract ya miaka 10.
It's mad, and 500,000 per week.
500 ni basic salary. That guy is earning around 830 in total.
Anyway, so let me ask the question. Do you think that element is going to get into Mamush's head? That he's not the star man? He's going to play according to the instructions of Pep, and it becomes a case of you sign someone whom you haven't seen so much of at City, because
No.
this is a Bundesliga tax.
No. Me unajua, I always make this I always made this joke kitambo. I always said there's no other Premier League that will ever win the league as long as Pep and Klopp are around. Klopp left. So it's only Pep who is remaining.
Yeah.
Pep mentality yake yenye anakuanga nayo. Me I always tell people to go back to watch the all or nothing.
Yeah.
The kind of mentality that guy has. Pep is the guy who will have a starting 11 and have a bench 11 who would start, anaweza reverse bench yake yote is start na starting 11 kwa bench and still wipe out teams. Why? Mamush anajua nikienda hapo I'm not the main man. It all comes down to the kind of mentality this guy Pep has.
Yeah.
Mamush won't care. Your story ati I'm no longer the star man. Pep I am sure already ashaongea naye ashamueleza this is how and now and how this, even ndio tutafanya. It's the same thing with young players. What Pep does with young players, he doesn't throw them into the mix.
Yeah.
He makes it gradual. It is the same thing with Mamush.
Okay, sawa, you're making a point, but Vicky, we saw the same thing with Grealish at Aston Villa. He was a star man. He was a crown jewel.
But he went to City.
Akakuwa humble.
Akakuwa humble. And the guy is
No,
like,
but I'm talking about now the performances, because you don't see the same performances he had at whatever at
but
Villa.
yeah, but sasa hiyo ni that is on us fans.
Can that hamper now the players' performance? Because that's my worry.
Obviously, Mamush is not going to be hitting goals
He's
as
not
much
going to
as
do the
he's
same
doing
thing
in it.
as
He's not going to do the same thing. So, but what will be asked of him at City is not what is being asked of at Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Yes, us as fans, we might want to complain and talk about hapana Pep ameharibu. Kwanza me like Grealish. Me I don't like what happened to Grealish when he went to City because I used to rate him highly.
Yeah.
That your ball carrying nini. And then he went to City and he was told you have to stop doing this. Yeah.
Changed.
As a fan, I can complain. As a footballer and as Pep, they can't complain because you knew what you're coming to do.
Yeah.
This is what I was asking of you. Fine, since you complain Mamush is not banging goals, but what is expected of him by Pep, he's going to do it. And what will happen? Pep will win the league again.
Okay,
and that is what matters to him.
So who gets the bench?
It's not about benching someone. At the end of the day, at Man City, can we really talk about who gets the bench when today Foden is going to have a miraculous games, gives you 3 goals. Next game week, ashaye kwa bench. Ameanzisha Mamush. This is Man City.
You know the Pep roulette, man.
You know him.
That is
So
it
coming
doesn't
Mamush
matter.
going to City, it's not about who's getting bench.
Okay,
It's
so
about how are
she's
they going
coming
to
City
rotate.
knowing he's not a starter.
100%. He knows he's not a starter.
Okay. All right. Guys, we are going to go for another short break. Then when we come back, we talk about the Champions League and probably wind up on this City argument.
Okay.
Alright. We were just having a discussion about the 115 City charges. And I think this is always a knee-jerk reaction to trying to hold Man City back. That mmepiga signing moja hatari lakini 115 charges, it is being reduced to 3 main charges. And in the 3 main charges, they are found guilty of 1.
Just one.
Just 1. It's the goose is cooked.
But City are guilty. In case you may delay simply because how the evidence was arrived at.
Yeah, it was illegal.
The guy who blew the whistle on them, and obtained his documents illegally.
Yeah.
They know they are guilty.
Yeah.
It's been proven they are guilty, but how? Sometimes the law nayo ule di justice hii macho anakuanga amefunga, sometimes anafaa afungue aache upuzi.
Yeah.
But you just need one.
Yeah.
And then big heavy point deductions.
But do you think, let me ask you guys, do you think these guys can be making all those signings knowing very well, giving Haaland a 10-year contract, knowing very well that they could have a major point deduction, which will actually lead to relegation?
No, I tend to think they already have a because no one knows the outcome. Sindio.
They know the outcome.
Ajui.
These signings wanafanya bro wanajua outcome.
Inaweza kuwa pia ni City, you can take away how good their PR machine is. It can also be a show of power and like okay, so mnasema tuko guilty but we'll still do this.
Yeah. Because there's one of the lead lawyers, they actually said once they are done with this hurdle, they're going to sue, I think the Premier League or
Kuharibia jina. So see, so that they don't, it can also be a show of power.
Yeah.
Like plus sinajua rules za PSR will change.
Yeah.
It's no longer every 3 seasons. It's no longer every 3 years. It's every year. Yeah. So City can flex.
Anyway, I think it's time to talk about the Champions League.
And there's only one place to start. You're Man City too. Because that is actually, it's the day of the round, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it's the day. They're playing on Wednesday. And they're playing with
PSG, Paris Saint-Germain.
They're playing Paris, who are a bit out of sorts. They're not really playing badly, but I don't think they have the facilities. Though I would love them to hurt Man City, but I don't think they have the facilities to do that.
They do.
But they can.
They do.
I think
they do have them. It's all about turning up.
Kuna kitu anasema.
Dembele and Bakola.
The one thing you can take away from the Premier League is their marketing.
Yeah.
If you go uko interior, uko ndani kabisa interior. Najua zi huku tao tuko at a walk nonsense movement. Tunakuanga walk football fans, you watch everything, Lakini ukienda huko interior, huko kwa nyanya yako, watoto wadogo, they don't know about kina PSG, they don't know about kina Lyon. Yeah. So everyone assumes PSG, because the big players were left, Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, that is what used to make them be known.
Yeah.
Everyone assumes that PSG declined, but in actuality, PSG have a very decent squad.
Okay.
And the City have been trifling and struggling kidogo. PSG can hoop them.
Okay.
They can. They've been doing well domestically. Hata kwa hiyo Champions League, they haven't been off. They haven't been doing off badly.
They're 25th, bro, in the table.
They haven't been doing that badly.
City is 22nd.
City is 22nd at the same time. So
City is 22nd.
So no one is actually really doing well.
Yeah,
but I think
in the Champions League.
our expectations versus what is happening, they're doing well. They're doing well. Right. We expect them to be top. City, PSG they can stop them. They can.
Okay. What do you think about? So Arsenal is playing. So you have PSG winning the game.
A draw.
Also, I see a draw there.
Okay. Your game against
Dinamo.
Dinamo.
Ile sasa ile ni ya kujiredeem tu kutoka hasira kidogo for what we fucked up yesterday. It is an easy game, but it can also be a hard game depending on how you approach it. If you approach it the way you approached it, Aston Villa and Tottenham from the first minute, we win it. Pressure. And I think by that game, Calafiori and Tomiyasu might be back. So, hiyo story ya ku-experiment Pate huko right back, tutamaliza na hiyo game. But for us, because we need to cement top 8.
Yeah.
You win that game, top 8 you are cementing.
Okay.
Because it's really crucial to finish top 8. Alikwambia for you to do that, you have to win all your home games.
Yeah.
It's the only home game left. So I think the crowd will carry the team and the team will carry itself to a win.
Let me ask you, Vicky.
Yeah.
Saa zingine Zusa anaweza kosa kuona hiyo game na akiona game ya Arsenal anaangana the banter eyes. Ulwich. But anyway, okay, just listen. I find teams set up differently in the Premier League and in the Champions League when they're playing Arsenal. We somehow have a lot of space
The Champions League.
in the Champions League than in the league.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. Means you Champions League at Sporting, when we were playing Sporting were giving Saka a lot of space. You guys, this is the only person who's going to hurt you, and he did. So is it how we normally think of Champions League being such a hard tournament? What plays in the minds of other teams when they're playing Arsenal?
I don't know why they never double on our way. Because on the leagues, they always know Arsenal is going to play a certain way, and most of the times, Kajana Martinelli alikuwa apewa space because wajua. But if you know it's Bukayo utamdouble up. Kwa Champe, they rarely do that. Unakuta Bukayo is isolating a defender. Almost every chance he gets is isolated with a defender.
Yeah.
So kuna more space, more time to do something in the ball. So, but I tend to think Zagreb pia watakuja watupe hiyo space sana.
Plus the familiarity. You're so familiar with you guys in the Prem.
Yeah.
We are so familiar with the style. So unajua huko tuko nje, we have watched, unajua huko na kuanga we are analyzing games based on what we are watching. Huko we are so familiar with you guys. We play you every season. So we already know. Si lazima tuende to
scouting yetu tunafanyaga every season about your team because they know this season I'll face Arsenal twice, next season I'll face Arsenal twice. So the scouting is done more frequently. And utakuta tumejifamiliarize. For Zagreb, they'll not come scout us every week.
Wow.
For another team, they'll not come scout us they'll scout us like 2 weeks to the game.
No, I don't think so. That's not how analysts watch the game.
Sikatai inakuambia at the end of the day unajua Zagreb has its own league. They have their own teams. Kuna zile ligi. Kuna zile team unajua interface.
But you realize these teams, they have a huge backroom staff.
Yeah, they do.
We don't refuse, Kaiga. We don't refuse. But what we are saying is, for league fixture, the scouting of other teams is not as constant for Champions League and the league. For the league, it's a constant thing you're going to do. Each season, you know, as Zagreb, I faced Rijeka twice, you know, as a certain team, eh? But for this team, kama ni Arsenal, si Arsenal pekee na scout. Uko na 8 other teams za hiyo ligi.
Story issue.
8 other teams. So scouting yako, because at the end of this umepewa 8 other extra teams you have to scout.
Yeah.
Zinatatiza nazo kwa ligi. Na always commit like resources. I know I'm going to play Arsenal in January na nilidrawiwa nayo in September ndakuwa nashinda nikiwa scout. No.
A lot of things are going to happen before I meet them.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to invest so much time into minding about us now than Rijeka.
Okay.
Because they know Rijeka is November na February.
Hata labda nitaiface 3 times zinakuwa team ndogo hiyo side yao. But anyways, in the Champions League usually have a lot of space to work on. And I like the fact that Trossard had an amazing game yesterday.
So he's good.
Hopefully he carries on that. Boys wetu mwana suffer from a crisis of confidence. Hiyo ndio game ya kujipea confidence nayo. But tunajua it's just shit. Another game pia Real Madrid unajua pia mali wako PSG, Madrid, Man City, they need to win their games.
Yeah.
Madrid I guess is 23rd right now. One position off being
They're 20th.
They're 20th. They're ahead of Man City. And they play who? Salzburg, the team that everyone is bash. No, ni Leipzig ama ni Salzburg inapigwa na kila mtu.
Leipzig have lost all their games in the UCL. All of them.
Acha tusiongele. Whoever they are playing, they are going to be spanked. How do you lose a 3-0 lead?
Let's not.
Anyways, let's not dwell on that. Aston Villa.
Monaco playing Villa.
Yeah, actually,
that's a very good game, man. It's a very good game. Monaco are doing beats.
They are both top 8.
Yeah,
currently. They are both the top 8 ama Monaco alishuka.
No, Villa 5th.
Villa 5th. Monaco alienda hadi?
Monaco 16th, bro.
16th. And they've been doing so well.
One game, you lose one game. You lose one game, the Champions League.
They get top 8.
You know, nakwambia that is the final margins between. Nakwambia a win is if you play right now at home, you have to win. The moment you drop points at home, Madrid dropping points at home versus Milan, they umewaleta huko.
Anyways, we are going to beat Villa.
So Barcelona are playing Benfica.
Hiyo timu wameisha bana.
Baka wataosha Benfica.
Wako wash.
Barcelona mazee.
Baka wanaosha Benfica na safi.
Martin na kazi ni ku drop points every week.
There's really such a
that
the only time
playing in Europa.
Hoffenheim. We are here at Hoffenheim.
Do you have a squad to play?
That's the problem.
Because I don't know how you guys are going to play today.
I think today we are going to play with our attack will be Son, Richarlison and Mikey Moore.
Okay.
Because Johnson is out. Maybe Kulusevski. Maybe we start with Kulusevski on the wing, and then in midfield you have Madison, Begvar, and Sa.
Yeah.
Man, we are so deep in the pits.
Today you have to start Madas has to
today. You see, we have to. We must.
You must.
And that means.
Why are you benching Madas by the way?
I don't know.
By the way, we're not talking about Spurs right now. We're talking about teams that are playing there.
Anyways.
I don't think there's anything.
There's nothing else. Ama nataka kuuliza final shows wacheza nani basi waambie Europe. Wajua wewe utakai kuachilia.
I don't know whom they are playing.
Exactly.
I don't know.
How go invested in Europa?
Siko invested in Europa. But anyway, for the sake of because we also have United fans following us. I think they are playing. Are they playing on Tuesday or Monday?
At Tuesday. Bro, so on Thursday.
The games are towards a Thursday, man. We play on Thursday.
They're playing Rangers. They're playing Rangers.
Wako Ibrox.
Yeah. No, wako
home.
Wako home.
But
you know,
and the Rangers, they're just a point shy.
Rangers, by the way, they give us a hard time, man.
But you know, United they struggle against almost everyone.
Tumesema siku hizo wameamka.
The final series wamepata kama makeup kidogo.
Makeup kidogo alafu kuna nyesha. Unataka kunyesha.
Ndio mvua makeup ianguke.
But anyway, whom do you have winning the Champions League?
Ni ngumu saizi kusema. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Just be anyone from I don't want to say top 8 because the Villa is there.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. There's a very crazy knockout.
I think hey, if anyone was to say it's a certain, I don't, the things we don't even think about. Because coming kwa kitambo group stages tungekuwa tushajua hawa wanapatana. It was much more easier, but maybe Liverpool because they are leading.
Yeah.
Me tell Liverpool because they are leading, not because I can tell, but Liverpool because they are leading.
Like when you're playing a knockout game when a team has to come to Anfield.
Bana. So Liverpool, maybe Liverpool.
And
Liverpool.
Alafu mali Liverpool wako. From now, if they finish first, all second leg games itakuwa Anfield. That is the best thing up ni seeding. That seeding is very important. Hapo ndio watu wajui. Hiyo top 8 hiyo ni seeding. The moment you finish first, any other team I was home. The first seed. So mi games zangu zote second leg ziko home. Hiyo ndio zitakuwa home.
Okay.
If for us, for instance, you finish third, if you meet a team after one up to 8, then parana hizo zingine. From there unajua seeding now comes into place. Okay. In the quarterfinals, maybe utadriwa na team. Let's assume umetoa team, si ndio? In the quarterfinals umesidiwa na team ilimaliza number 4. Nuggets. Unakuwa cause playing second leg at home is very crucial.
It's crucial. Anyway, I think that's all for this.
Ngoja, nani wabeba champions umeuliza? According to you,
Arsenal gets to the semi-finals.
as you have asked for a winner.
Sasa utuambie winner.
Tuambie nani wanatoa Arsenal semi-final.
I think the winner is between Slots and Inter Milan.
Fair enough.
The winner is Arsenal.
But you say, bro, Arteta is not winning you anything this season. Why you big?
Chana huyo jamaa bana.
Si labda nitakuwa na manager mwingine wa time, who knows?
Nah. Bro, Arteta has been given the second most expensive contract after Pep Guardiola.
That's the problem right there.
So he's saying another 3 years. So you don't doubt, bro. Arteta is not the
That's the problem.
Mdawini
Right there.
UCL na Jova akiwa intern. Kazi itakuwa tu maset.
Tunaweza beba nazo. So who
You will
knows?
start with yourself to a UCL win.
At the end of the day, season ikianza unasemaga nabeba quadruple because it's your team, si ndio?
Mimi nilisema na win Europa mambo ya quadruple sijui ilitoa.
Hii season ndio ulimaliza. Last season ulikuwa unabeba quadruple.
Guys are just capping over here. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe on the internet channel. This is Vicky, Zeus, and America Higa. See you next time.
Adios.
Cheers.